We're going to talk to one of the contenders now, Rehman Chishti, who's newly appointed Foreign Office Minister, one of the most recent contenders to enter the Tory leadership race, and he joins me now here outside Parliament. Rehman Chishti, I think it's fair to say you're not exactly a household name. It's quite a leap from being a newly appointed minister, just appointed in the last few days in fact, to Prime Minister of this country. How are you going to make that leap?
Well, Ben, you're absolutely right. I think for me it's about being frank with the British public. Yes, many people would have not heard about me. But I think what is important is to set out, as our country now moves forwards with its transition, and as we look for change, is to put forward individuals across the Conservative Party who have a diverse range of experiences, and for individuals as amongst equals, then to say what can they offer our great country in these challenging, difficult times ahead, and what drives politicians. And I had to ask that question last week, and I'll be honest with you. For me, I've not been planning a leadership campaign for a year, or 2 years, or years. I've not been planning a leadership campaign for months, not at all. For the last 12 years as a Member of Parliament, when I first came in at the age of 31, it was about getting on with the job, coming up with creative ideas, private members' bill on mental health, which matters to our people.
Okay,
and with respect, for me, what I would say, I bring fresh ideas.
Yeah.
It's about
but you don't bring experience. With respect, you've only been a minister for a few days, and that was only when so many other ministers resigned from the government.
I think what I do bring, Ben, it's about the values, it's about a vision, and it's also about what the great British public, stand for. Hard work, determination, perseverance, self-belief. I came to our great country at the age of 6. I did not speak a single word of English. I was the first in my family to go off to university, to read law, to be a young lawyer, to fight for justice, and then come to Parliament at 31. For me, it was about hard work, bottom up. Just like this campaign. I don't have many people working on my campaign. It's about self-belief, it's about determination. But what I have done as a parliamentarian over the last 12 years is about creative ideas. And if I were to be elected leader of our party and to be the next Prime Minister of our great country, it would be having the brightest and the best people on a merits-based system working with me, delivering for our country.
You say you want change. We've just had Boris Johnson in power, widely criticised for breaching ethical and moral standards. You were one of his main supporters when he was elected leader of the party and then Prime Minister.
But you'll also remember, I also stepped down from government in 2020 as a former special envoy for the Prime Minister at the Foreign Office because I did not agree with the government with regards to its policy on the internal market bill. So for me as a politician,
but what about his behaviour in number 10? What about the way he behaved in number 10? Do you want to see a change from that kind of behaviour? I
think I would want to see the behaviour which is what I stand up for, which is about integrity, decency, fair play. And I would say, what happened at number 10, was completely unacceptable. I've got to let people know, it's the values which drive me. It's about honesty, integrity, decency, fair play, aspiration, hard work, and that reflects the great British people, up and down our great country.
And just tax is the policy that is most being discussed at the moment by all the contenders. Where do you stand on that?
Well, Ben, for me, it's about aspirational conservatism. If you work hard, if you do the right thing, if you persevere, and I saw it as a young barrister in London doing criminal legal aid work, is if you work hard, if you do the right thing, you want to keep more of your money you earn. So for me, it would be about lower taxation, people keeping more of their money they earn. What I can't do for you today, and I will not do that, and it will be irresponsible for me to do that, is to set out a detailed economic policy because I have not seen the book. But what I can assure you, I would ensure that we have the brightest and the best people serving the government across the board, coming together in the national interest, making those decisions for our country.
Rehman Chishti, thank you very much. We've got a very noisy protester you can probably hear behind with a megaphone, but that is British democracy, of course. Thank you, Rehman Chishti, one of the contenders for this leadership race.